Good afternoon. My name is Sarah Gonzalez, and I am a 7th and 8th grade ELA teacher for writing and literature at Renaissance Valley Academy. And today I'm going to be talking about my personal teaching philosophy and my growth. So when I first began GCU, I did have a personal philosophy that did involve a little bit more of a stricter situation. However, that has changed gradually as I have entered the classroom and now been a teacher for the last 3 months and an ACE for the last year. So I have, there's a couple of things that I have grown to change just a little bit. One of those things is learning about student needs. So something that I thought that was different was I thought that I only needed to know about the student needs at the beginning of the year. But as I have taught for the last 3 months, I have learned that the student needs are continually changing, and it is important to keep assessing and using those assessments and using discussions or conversations with the student in order to make appropriate changes to what might be interventions for these students. As well as another thing that has been a part of my philosophy, which is a school-wide philosophy, actually not requirement per se, but it is highly recommended. Positive behavior interventions. So when instead of addressing a student's poor behavior or lack of participation, it is a much better idea to praise the students who are actively participating or who are showing a positive behavior. So, and how I've been implementing this recently, especially during our pandemic times, is when a student does an exceptional job in class, say in either the discussions or what we are working on assignments, I make sure to email the parents, the teacher on record, as well as the student, and let them know, just to give them kind of a great highlight so that they know that their student is doing a good job and showing positive behavior. And I love highlighting that, and receiving emails back has been fantastic. So the next thing that I'm going to talk about is how technology has affected my teaching philosophy. So technology has now become our main source of teaching as we've fallen under the times of the pandemic. However, it has also created a unique opportunity for us as teachers to access different platforms for our modes of teaching. For instance, providing students with Nearpod discussion boards, as well as fun activities like Kahoot games. It also has allowed us students to submit their assignments using the various applications from Google or Kami, or even taking a picture of a physical assignment that they printed. And this gives us a sense of accessibility for all students, so I think that's fantastic. And the last thing that I want to discuss is my Christian worldview. And my Christian worldview of compassion I show to my students by doing periodic check-ins on how they're doing academically as well as emotionally, because again, many of my students have been affected by the pandemic as far as losing loved ones and as well as becoming isolated. So it's been very important to me that I make sure that I always do check-ins in my homeroom as well as my PE period. And then lastly, I do give reminders to students about expectations weekly as well as on assignments. However, I feel it's important to always take into consideration a student's concern or request based off of needs or even reasoning per se exactly on like extensions. And I always give second and sometimes third chances for students because I never want them to feel like I'm giving up on them. Okay, so that is my philosophy for teaching. Thank you so much for listening and have a wonderful day.